Stop waiting. How many of us are constantly waiting for the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment to do something? I'll tell you, I have been waiting for a very long time to start this channel, to have the motivation, the interest, the willpower to actually sit down and make a simple, unedited video just like this one. It is currently November 11th, 2024. It's Remembrance Day. And I'm not wearing a poppy. I really should be. I'm finally taking the leap and starting this channel. And I got to tell you, it's scary. Why is it scary? That's a good question. I think we are afraid to start things because we're afraid to fail. Why are we afraid to fail? Well, because maybe it'll prove to ourselves that voice inside that says, if I don't do something well, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Maybe it'll prove that voice is correct, and we will crumble. I feel that maybe that's the story that we're telling ourselves. And so just taking that first leap, even when it's stressful, even when it's uncertain, and even though you might not know where things will end up, is just super important. So this channel is going to be all about personal finance and self-growth and just becoming the best version of yourself. And I know that sounds really cheesy. I'm a really cheesy guy. But I really hope that through this channel, I can resonate with some of you, that you guys can be inspired, be educated, and follow me along on my journey, because, I'm still very, very far from where I want to be in my life. 24 years old, and I feel like there's just so much I want to accomplish. I want to become financially independent. I want to, have the family and, just really enjoy life, to travel, to explore, and to really just get the most out of this life. Because you see, we all know this, but our time here on this planet is limited. And I would say that it's very easy to waste it. Personally, I've spent a lot of time thinking and pondering and drinking coffee and not actually doing anything productive. I have done productive things, I've almost completed a business degree. I'll be graduating in December. And I've saved, what I would consider to be a fair amount of money for someone my age and in my situation. But I still feel that there's so much more out there. And I also feel that it's so hard to just take that leap and to let go of all the fear of not being good enough and the fear of failure. Here in Canada where I live, so I'm a Canadian, and the housing market's extremely expensive. And so I am worried about being able to afford property. I am worried about being able to make enough money to support a family, to really experience financial freedom. And making this channel is part of that goal. And I think it's one foot in the right direction in terms of getting another income stream going. I actually have another YouTube channel right now. And I worked on it over 7 years. It ended up getting around 65,000 subscribers at this point. And it's a bit of a passive income stream. Not a lot of money, pays for gas, but I think having a focus is really important. All these different channels advocate for having, 5 to 10 income streams. And they say, millionaires on average have 7 income streams. And I don't necessarily think that's true. It might be true, but I think it's very important to focus on 1 or 2 things to really prioritize. And that's something that I've struggled with personally. Because to focus on one thing and to go fully, fully 2 foot, I can't speak right now. It's 10 p.m. and I'm pretty tired, but to jump fully into something can be very scary, because it means that if you fail that thing, you're just putting so much out on the line. Whereas if you, kind of try with a bunch of different things and you fail, well, I didn't give it my full effort. So it's okay. It doesn't crush your ego. And so I think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard for people to fully invest themselves into something. But the thing is that full investment is, I think, what really brings true success. And, being able to really just laser focus onto one thing or a couple things. That being said, I also think it's very important to try different things and explore, especially when you're young, to figure out, kind of what do you like? And so I think trying different things isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's very good. But you eventually have to find something that you can go full force into. I'm still in the process of figuring that out. But the exciting thing is that if you put effort into things and you really give it your all, the opportunities are really endless, and you can be extremely, extremely successful. I mean, I know there are people out there who are millionaires, and I guarantee you that they're not even that smart. And there are different types of smarts, different types of intelligence. For example, I'm personally really good at school. I'm good at taking tests and getting good grades. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm smart in some other area, but there's always going to be someone out there who's making way more money than you, who is, objectively not as bright as you. And I'm not saying that in a demeaning way towards these people who are successful. Good on them. But my point here is that you can do it, right? If that guy over there can do it, so can you. And so can I. And that's what I'm trying to convince myself of. And I think that's what we all need to convince ourselves of if we want to truly get to where we want to go. And that might not necessarily be, becoming a millionaire, becoming wealthy, financially independent. We all have our own goals, right? And so I think it's really understanding, what are your goals? If you achieved something, and that something was had the ability to change your life, what would it be? Would it be, someone's texting me, would it be financial independence? Would it be graduating college? Would it be helping to mentor someone who's younger than you or less fortunate than you? Success takes on so many different forms, and I think every person kind of has their own idea of success. And of course, there's kind of this generic, American dream we're brought up with, the white picket fence, the family, the fancy cars, the mansion. But I don't necessarily think that would make me happy personally. Having the mansion, I don't care about having a mansion. Driving a Lambo would be fun. Don't get me wrong. It'd be great. It'd be nice and comfy. But it's not something that's going to make or break my life. I could go through my life without a Lambo and still be very happy, So I think the first step is really to identify what you want. And I think that can often be the most difficult step because, you really have to get to the root of who you are as a person, right? What do you value most? And to sit there and really dig deep into yourself can be very challenging. It can be painful. It can be very unclear. And so a lot of it is, I think, trial and error. Trying things. Do these things speak to you? Do you get the sense that maybe you should be doing something else? For example, for over 2 years, I've thought that I should make this channel. And why didn't I start it? Well, as I discussed, a big part of that was fear. Fear of not being successful, fear of wasting my time, fear of feeling that maybe I wasn't good enough. And I think a lot of us have this kind of self-talk that isn't conducive to success. For the past couple of years, I've been reading a lot of books, been watching a lot of YouTube videos regarding personal finance and self-growth, because these are things I'm interested in, and I think it's really important to surround yourself with positive things. We all grow up in different environments, and some of these environments and some of these people that we surround ourselves with are not necessarily helping us on our journey to our dream life. And I think oftentimes we recognize that, but we don't take any action to kind of reprogram our minds and reprogram our subconscious. The subconscious is a very, very, very powerful thing, right? And I was reading a book and it was talking about the subconscious. I can't remember the title, but basically what it was saying was that, the subconscious, it's going on in the background. And basically what happens is your conscious mind is constantly trying to reconcile with the subconscious part of your mind. So for example, let's say, your subconscious thinks that, you deserve good luck. Okay. So your subconscious is saying you are a great person, you're worthy, and you deserve great things. And so your conscious mind will make active efforts to make that subconscious a reality, right? And to reinforce that subconscious part of your mind. And for example, in that case, you're telling yourself you're worthy, you deserve this. You're going to take actions that reinforce that you are worth it and that you are worthy, and you are going to have that self-confidence in whatever you do. You're going to take those chances because you believe in yourself, right? So getting started and taking that first step might involve, in fact, it probably will involve some very deep work on yourself in becoming introspective, trying to figure out what your subconscious is telling you and shifting it to a productive place that's going to align with what you truly do want, right? Because until that subconscious is positive and is in that place that it needs to be, your conscious mind will continuously sabotage you. So if you want positivity, if you want good things, first fix your subconscious, and then your conscious mind will follow. I know this sounds kind of cheesy and woo-woo and monk-like. The fact is, I did recently read a book called Think Like a Monk. But I think it's very, very true and very important to, to try to go within and try to identify different programming that may not be serving you in your life and fix it. And easier said than done. But, one of the things I've been doing, and, I've been very fortunate in my life, not to say that, I've had a traumatic upbringing or anything like that. I've been very fortunate, but for a lot of us, we still need to kind of reprogram our subconscious. Especially, if we grew up in an abusive environment, in an environment that maybe you were neglected, maybe you experienced the loss of a loved one, and that really kind of had a ripple effect throughout your life. We need to reestablish that positivity and that, those good feelings. And so meditation, reading books, and just kind of reverse brainwashing is what I like to think of. Well, not reverse, but like brainwashing yourself. Sounds really bad when I say it that way. But when you read all these books and you watch all these videos about positivity and growth mindset and becoming rich, what you're doing is you're slowly kind of shifting your mindset into that realm where it needs to be to actually make these dreams a reality. So sometimes you need to just inundate yourself with all these kind of good things, with these affirmations of success. Well, affirmations are basically, looking in the mirror and saying, you're great, you're handsome or pretty, you can do this, you're awesome. And that can work too. I've never really done that, but probably should try it. But this video is very ranty, and it is my first, and I do know how to edit videos, but this was one that I didn't want to spend time editing. I want to get it out there and just take that first step. And this video probably won't get any views. Honestly, it's the first video. I would be honestly shocked if it got even more than 50 views or even one comment. I'm not saying that because I'm trying to induce anyone to comment or watch this video. It's just a simple fact of the matter. Like I said, I do have another channel, and it did take a while to actually start getting some traction. So that's why, things take time, and you might not see this success right away. In fact, you most likely won't in whatever you're trying to accomplish. But do know that taking that first step and getting started, even when it's not the perfect time, even when you're afraid to do it, these little actions really do add up over time, and they compound. And so I highly recommend anyone out there who's thinking about doing something productive, thinking about making a positive change in their life, whatever that may look like for you, to just take that first step. No harm, no foul. And if it doesn't work out, try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. If you have the desire to move your life in a better direction and you're willing to take the actions necessary to make that happen, you will see your life changing for the better. And so you just got to believe. I know it's corny, but belief has such a profound impact on everything you do. In fact, it can really change your perspective, and it can change your energy, and it can change how you work. If you feel that you can actually do something, you will be much more likely to work hard towards achieving it. If you don't believe it, you'll probably put a low effort into whatever it is you're trying to do. So believe in yourself. And, one of the things I like to think about when it comes to, just starting is jumping into a cold pool or a cold body of water. I personally have been one to stand on the diving board for 5+ minutes, just afraid to take that jump and to jump into that pool because I knew it was going to be cold and I knew it was going to be painful at first. But if you can bypass that fear and just do it, this is not a Nike advertisement, but if you can just get yourself to do it, you will find that it's not as bad as you think. See, we as humans, we have this incredible ability to blow things out of proportion and to convince ourselves that things will be much worse than they actually will be. And so if you just take that step, yes, it might be painful at first, and maybe even the second time it'll be painful. Maybe even the second and third time you jump into that pool, it'll be cold, it'll be painful, but you'll be glad you did it because you'll be refreshed, you'll feel good, you'll have that exercise, and you'll be that much closer to achieving your ultimate goal. I worked in construction for a brief period of time, several months, and one of the things that amazed me while working there on that job site was that even in rain, even in snow, they would still be up there on that roof pouring concrete. And so I remember they put heaters underneath the very top floor of the apartment building so that when they poured the concrete for the floor, it would still be able to set in the winter when it was, negative temperatures here in Canada. There's snow on the roof, but those heaters were able to induce the proper setting of that concrete foundation. Well, it wasn't a foundation, it was the floor or the ceiling, depending on your perspective. But the point here is that, yes, it was cold. Yes, it was snowy, but these construction workers, they were on a schedule. They had to get this done. They didn't sit there and say, oh, no, you know what, guys, it's a little too cold today. Take the day off. No, it was go, go, go. We got to get this done no matter what. There was no option to take a day off. It was, this has to be done and we will do it. And that was the amazing thing. And it really taught me the value of, being disciplined. And if I'm being completely honest with you, which that's the goal in these videos, I'm not always, super disciplined. In fact, I have days, even weeks where I'm extremely lazy and I don't get much done and I'm resting a lot and eating a lot. And we all have these times. But I am trying to learn to be more disciplined, more consistent. And I think we all can get better at this over time. Life is evolution, right? We evolve as we grow. Now, I'm not speaking in terms of, dinosaurs and Neanderthals. I'm talking evolution in the sense that as we progress through our lives, we morph through our experiences, through our education, through our own accord. We can unlock our true potential. But we have to be willing to take those steps. And we have to be willing to put ourselves out there, put ourselves on the line, take those risks. Taking risks is so important. Not risks as in, walking a tightrope from one building to another, but risks that have the opportunity to get us closer to the life we want. We can take risks, but mitigate them. Reduce our risk. Hedge our bets. And if we do that, life will get better. Everyone these days that I've met, they just play it safe. Don't invest much because stock market's risky, they say. Don't apply for that position because now they're probably not qualified. But But if you turn it around and say, look, yeah, it may be risky, but I can take some measures to reduce the risk. For example, if you're investing, instead of buying individual stocks, you can buy index funds, which are essentially baskets of stocks created on the stock market. So you're diversifying your funds across many, many different companies, many different countries, and many different sectors. And we'll get more into this in a future video. But in the other case, for applying to jobs that you think you're not qualified for, just go for it. What do you have to lose? Maybe you get the interview and maybe you get the job, or maybe you don't. But hey, at least you tried. Life's too short to wait. So get out there, press record, or apply to that school, or apply to that job, or start that business. Ask that girl or guy out. Take action, because only then will we get where we want to go. I'm Lucas, and this is the first of hopefully many videos on this channel. I know this was very uncut, very raw, and also probably very incoherent in a lot of ways. But it's the start, and it's not perfect. Just before I started making this video, I was, worried about my hair and thinking, oh, it looks goofy. And maybe it does look goofy, or maybe it doesn't, but I still decided to turn on that record. I still decided to press record. And I'm not editing this video because I want to show you guys that, it's okay to be awkward. It's okay to be cringy. It's okay to make mistakes when you're first starting. It's part of the process. It really is. And you will get better. On my other YouTube channel, the first, handful of videos were also very, very poorly done. And although I have a lot of experience editing, again, I still wanted to make this video raw and uncut because I just want you guys to see that it doesn't have to be perfect to start. Don't wait till it's perfect, because it really never will be. The circumstances will never be just right for you. They just won't, because that's not how life works. Perfection is the enemy of the good. And you are good, so be good. Don't try to be perfect. I'm going to sign off here, and I hope you got some value from this video. If you did, it would mean a lot if you honestly just leave a comment and let me know, what are you trying to achieve in your life? Where do you want to go? Do you ever feel like you're stuck? And what have you been wanting to do for a very, very, very long time in your life that you haven't yet done? This is my call to action for you to take that first step. I really think you'll be glad you did. All right, guys. See you later. I'm going to sign out now.